This is the IZIP E3 Path from Curry, and it strikes a balance between something like the Zuma, which is got a 500 watt hub motor. It's really powerful, but it's also kind of big, and just a normal bike. So it's really kind of in the middle. It's a lot lighter than some of the other electric bikes out there, and it's less powerful. So if you're a fit rider, someone who's looking for a little bit of extra help, but is willing to pedal and not want to use this like a scooter, this could be a good fit for you. I'm just going to go ahead and run through the features. So here is the geared rear hub motor on this thing. It's only 250 watt. Now, a lot of electric bikes have 300 watt, 350, or 500 even. So this is definitely at the lower end of the spectrum, but this is what almost everyone in Europe rides, and they have different regulations and stuff over there. So it's certainly possible. It still adds a lot of support to your ride. The battery on this thing is only 24 volts. It's got 10 amp hours, so that's a lot of range. You're gonna be able to go just as long as a lot of other electric bikes, but 24 volts is also on the lower end. There are electric batteries that are lithium like this, but that go up to 36 volts, even 48 volts. So again, 24 volt at the lower end. So with that said, those are the negatives or the potential downsides of this bike. It's not very powerful. The upside is it's light and it's elegant. I mean, if you look at this thing, it kind of looks like a normal bike, and the battery pack isn't gonna weigh as much, and the hub motor doesn't add as much weight. So anyway, this bike comes in two different styles. There's a low step like this, and then there's a diamond, as Curry calls it, which kind of has that higher top bar, and that's kind of like the guy's version. The distance between the seat and the handlebars is a little bit different. On the high top one, it's a little bit larger, and this is a little bit smaller. I'm sort of a medium-sized guy, and I actually kind of like the low step because it's just easier to get on and off of. I love the fact that they've added a water bottle cage holes here, because not every electric bike has that. It's nice to be able to have water. Speaking of carrying things along with you, they've got this nice rack back here, which is designed to carry the battery, but it also doubles as sort of a cargo spot. So you could put like a bag here, or you could put panniers that would hang down the side, and they've got these nice these sort of bars here that you can latch it onto. I love the fact that it also has two full-size fenders, and they match, and they look great, and they're solid. They don't rattle too much. Over time, though, because this is all bolt-on, you just want to make sure it doesn't start to get loose, because it can start to rattle versus other electric bikes that sort of weld everything together. Again, not a huge downside on this bike. I think they put it together pretty well, and it rides nicely. There are 7 gears on this bike. Back here, you've got the Shimano Acera shifter derailleur, and 7 is pretty good. You can see there's this super low, that extra large chainring back here, and that's to help you climb hills a lot easier. I find that rarely using that high gear, just because it's plenty. There's great range on this bike. It offers a lot in the way of pedaling, which is great. And I love the fact that they've got this nice, elegant chain guard here. So, if you're wearing pants or dress or something, you could step on this thing, and you're not going to have to worry about your pants getting greasy or getting caught in that chain, because you've got that chain guard, and it's elegant. They didn't overdo it. It's nice looking. And then you've got this heavy-duty aluminum chain guide, which doubles as a bash guard. And a bash guard is if you hit a rock or something, it's not going to chip the teeth in your chain ring. And that's awesome. This keeps the chain from falling off on the front, especially if you're using the throttle mode on the bike, because the bike starts to go fast and rattle around, and the chain can bounce off of electric bikes. So this guide is awesome. I love that they did that. Speaking of ride quality, this bike is on the jitterier side of electric bikes. You'll notice that the tires aren't super fat, and a lot of electric bikes have fat tires. They do that because it smooths the ride out. It's just kind of a style thing. But again, this is if you're fit and you're pedaling, it's just kind of a normal bike. It's going to be like a normal bike experience, but there aren't any shocks. There aren't those big tires, and so just keep in mind, your neck or back could get just a little bit more movement there when you're going on kind of a bumpy or cobblestone street. So with that said, one thing I do like that they did with the tires is you can see this green cap. That means they're pre-slimed. It's not a lot of fun to get a flat on an electric bike because you gotta take the rear wheel off. Well, if it's the rear wheel, and that's just, there's a lot of steps involved because there's a hub motor. Thankfully, Curry built in this quick disconnect right here, right? So it's easy to disconnect, and but you're still taking off bolts and just doing a lot, all because you got a flat tire. I mean, that sucks. So anyway, back to the ergonomics here. It comes with this more sporty seat. It's not super soft, but it does have sort of a rubber bumper in there to smooth out the bumps. And then up here you've got this nice curved swept back handlebar, which is going to help you to remain more upright as you ride. This isn't a road bike where you're really leaning over. You're more upright. But again, on the scale of electric bikes, of ones that are super cush and you're just chilling out, or ones that are more active, this is definitely leaning towards the more active style, and it's beautiful. I'm gonna go ahead and hop on and show you what it's like to ride this thing. There we go. And I like the fact that they used just the normal kickstand down here. They didn't have the motorcycle ones, so those can be kind of heavy, a little bit awkward to deal with at times. So I just press the on-off switch. There we go. And I'm going to start out with pedal assist. So when I start pedaling, there's a sensor down in there, a pedal-X sensor, and it senses that my crank arms are going around and around, and when it senses that, it starts to kick in. So some people can say that's a little bit jerky. I actually like it because it means you don't have to push hard on the pedals. You just have to move them, and then the bike senses you're going. So I'm moving. There we go. There. You might notice that I stopped pedaling and it was still accelerating for a while. So it's not the most immediate start or stop, but works. There you go. You can see the upright riding position I was talking about. You can hear the motor whirring a little bit, whining back there. It's not super powerful, but it gets the job done. I mean, I'm barely pedaling, I'm going up a hill. I'm gonna switch it to twist and go mode. There we go, I switched it. So I'm not pedaling. Just carrying me up this incline. Pretty good. Sweet. Just put that down like that. So, all in all, this is a great bike. It's got disc brakes front and rear. It's got nice adjustments. It's high quality components. It looks good. It's relatively lightweight. But it's not a motorcycle. This is more on the bike side of things. So, for more details, pictures, and the full written review, check out ElectricBikeReview.com. See you there.